Now, an interesting question comes, is says, gee, Bill, thanks for telling me all this. This is really kind of interesting. Where do I get my taxonomies? You're telling me that I need to do all of this. It's like, where do I get my data models? Well, let me tell you where you can get taxonomies. As I mentioned, in the world of medicine and healthcare, there is at least one major taxonomy that Bill Inmon has seen it with his own eyes and has touched it and felt it. It exists. I don't work for Mayo Clinic, and I don't make arrangements for them, but I know that it exists. It's out there. I have heard through the rumor mill. I was doing a class like this one time, and somebody ran up to me and said, gee, Bill, we have a taxonomy for the oil and gas industry. And so now have I seen it? Have I touched it? Please classify this as a rumor. I have not seen it. I haven't touched it, but I have had people tell me of the existence of oil and gas taxonomies. One alternative is to look across different industries and see if the industry happens to have a taxonomy. And if you're lucky, then you'll find something. A second alternative is to look on the internet. And let me tell you, now this requires some work and this requires some ingenuity, but if you look on the internet for a thesaurus, a thesaurus can be used to create very quickly and efficiently your own taxonomies. So now, having stated that, is a taxonomy the same thing as a thesaurus? No. It requires a little bit of using your brain and saying, well, that's not what I want, or yes, that is what I want. Here's where you as a data modeler have got to do what you need to do. But a thesaurus is a good place to look. A third place to look is the vendor of this technology that we're talking about. And I know because we've been doing this for a number of years now, we have built up our own library of taxonomies. We typically have things like sentiment and other taxonomies that we can just plug in. A fourth source of taxonomies, and you may be surprised to find this, you can look it up on the internet, but there are companies out there that will commercially sell you taxonomies. And then the fifth choice, which we really don't recommend, but it's always a choice, is you can sit down with pencil and paper and create your own. And that's like saying, gee, guys, you want to do data modeling? If worse comes to worse, you can sit down and create your own data model. If you can't find Lynn Silverson's data model, if you can't find an industry data model, if you can't find a vendor data model for you, then of course you can always create it on your own. But given the amount of work that it takes to create taxonomies, that last choice of doing it by yourself is one that we recommend. Boy, I'll tell you, on the few occasions I've seen people try to do it on their own, I sit there and I grit my teeth because I know what's going to happen. It's going to take them 6 months to do it, and ultimately, the problem is most people are not professional taxonomy builders in the first place. And so even if you do try to make it on your own, it's still going to be an amateurish effort. However, it can always be done, but please exhaust all of the other possibilities. So that's where you can get your taxonomies from. Okay, that's a little bit then about a world that is a data modeling world. It's as you go forward looking into the world of unstructured data, you go into this world of taxonomies and ontologies. And so should you want to find more information, there are some white papers we have that are free. We don't charge anything for them. You can look on the website, forestrimtech.com. There's a bunch of free white papers that are there, and that's another source for information.